Ghana for the former Kai Aya them a friend Charles Bissue. On Anas Arima Yao. No more banta bi wo Ghana ha se no mo twetwuma mentwepa nsem no kopi mo court no no mo nim se na OSP no ye Anas Arima Yao Anas ne lawyer adofo update kese pan na babeto ho Supreme Court pan the serious ruling pan but of manko na yanko je sansem wo nyina nchiremu wo Ghanatube haya ne mbra disia.
Now, the Supreme Court today overturns the High Court ruling in Bissue OSP legal battle. We know that the OSP has been fighting Charles Bissue, I don't know what for, about some videotape that Anas did. Of course, you know that he said that used to be lawyer for Anas. They are bosom friends, they are partners, etc., etc. And this is what the story says. The Supreme Court, and incidentally, the lawyer who argued this case successfully, the same lawyer on my seat now. So don't worry, there's a lot that we're going to hear tonight. The Supreme Court has overturned a High Court ruling that dismissed an application filed by the former secretary to the Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining, Charles Bissue, at the Human Rights Division of the High Court. Charles Bissue filed an application there that
caption I say Supreme Court overturns High Court ruling in Charles Bissue OSP legal battle. Hey, ma woni say sanse won nyina akoy deja court Supreme Court pan ko pie yewu asem ko High Court. And I see a movie assembly court Supreme Court. Na Charles Bissue only Anas Arima Yao Anas no more prepare our court. Pamamu him say Anas babontin is some expose bi babontin and say Charles Bissue akobo kronu bi ni bribe and corruption. Time no ma buy no so no. And amu him say OSP kisie jabin sa time no na Anas Arima Yao Anas ne lawyer pan no this asem which other for. Breaking news case pan arabeto yes Supreme Court overturns High Court ruling in Charles Bissue case no and to the for woman ko na yanko de sansem we nyina nchiremu e Ghanatube haya sia ne mbra.
Dismissed. Let's see. The application was filed against the Office of the Special Prosecutor in relation to the handling of criminal complaints against him. The case stems from allegations of corruption and related offenses against Charles Bissue following the airing of an investigative documentary by journalist Anas Arima Yao Anas. Subsequent to the airing of the documentary, the OSP declared Bissue a wanted person. In response, Bissue secured an injunction from the courts to prevent the OSP from enforcing the arrest. In June 2023, he filed a case at the Human Rights Court accusing the OSP of unlawfully securing the arrest warrant. The OSP, however, denied the existence of it.
Now so mode arrest warrant e come Charles Bissue. Na Charles Bissue say David da. Nensan kan arrest warrant bia from OSP. Anase kane no Anas Arima Yao Anas the lawyer say nensan kan arrest warrant bia enti nsem ne be atwema mentwe pan ekopie mo High Court. And as see no mode akọ Supreme Court na Supreme Court this some ruling kese bi e dia babeto sa asem so do for man ko na yansan ko tua nsem no so emra disia e wo Ghanatube hayamra.
Any such arrest warrant and argued that it did not require judicial authorization to arrest Bissue. The Kaneshi District Court, which Bissue claimed had issued the alleged warrant, also denied ever granting such an order. This position was supported by the Attorney General who represented the District Court. The Attorney General here refers to Dominica Yini's outfit. Despite this, Bissue's legal team cited a public interview granted by the Special Prosecutor on Joy FM's news file as evidence of the alleged warrant. They argued that the judge should listen to the interview audio before making a determination. However, the judge dismissed the case without reviewing the audio, which to his lawyer was contrary to an earlier indication that it would be conceded. Bissue subsequently filed a judicial review application at the Supreme Court, seeking to quash the High Court's decision and prohibit the presiding judge from continuing to hear the case. According to Bissue's lawyers who are in the studio today, the Supreme Court has now directed the High Court to determine whether the arrest warrant was lawfully obtained. In response to the Supreme Court's ruling, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has indicated that it will now expect to cross-examine Bissue's legal team in court. Speaking to City News after the proceedings, Bissue's lawyer, Nane Bafo, emphasized the significance of the case in setting a precedent on the legal authority of the OSP to issue arrest warrants. Meanwhile, in a related development, the criminal court is expected to consider a plea agreement tomorrow between the OSP and Thomas Andiowusu, the second accused in the case titled The Republic versus Charles Bissue and another. So the OSP went to Supreme Court and he was told that the conversation that was the guy's name, Sami Dako. He talks quite a bit. Sami Dako talks quite a bit. I mean, I don't know how much seasoned lawyer he is, and when he talks, I don't know whether his constitutional law is sound or not, but that's up to him. And he talks quite a bit, and he talks a whole lot. I mean, he was a journalist. I'm not sure the extent of distinction he got in journalism, but he went to study law. And he talks a lot. So he's the one who has created a problem for Kissi Ajabe because he went on Joy FM to blab, and the blabbing has created a problem for Kissi Ajabe, who wanted to say that I didn't get any arrest warrant. And they said, but the guy was on Joy FM, said that there was an arrest warrant that was obtained. And then they played it and said, yes, you got an arrest warrant. The arrest warrant was not properly taken. The High Court should look at it. That's the kinds of things that the OSP does. But now we are moving straight into the OSP's big conversation. Do you have a video of him talking about Ken Ofori-Atta?
Pertaining to Charles Bissue, Anas Aremeyaw Anas, NHS OSP, see a special prosecutor, Kissi Ajabe, no Anas, the lawyer pan dealing with that case. We mamun him say, in some way, a bay deja or Ghana has a Kennedy Japan crown who crack or ban, same crown womb, yes, not Kennedy Japan, any Anas, or more chin pan, chumamin trying as a chewing gum pan or Ghana has Kennedy Japan, for her, na Nazia far, cram and some crack a bagana has Emma Chese, Kennedy Japan, Edim Kunim, and Asemno. Anas wantiasi eno de asem ko piemu US memu America memu or the call America for court eno de call hono mo a chese ono Anas Aremeyaw no okodi nkunim e wo hono do for asem no ene chese yede ma Kennedy Japan be obi so ntua sika bia ontua asansem no nyina egusu ekoso ena Charles Bissue nso ene sa Anas kuya omunsemsemia ena OSP kane no muamu ni Kissi Ajabe no Anas Aremeyaw Anas ne lawyer ono ginemu ma Anas edi nechi verse intine ekoye Charles Bissue and the lawyers and Anas Aremeyaw Anas nso ne lawyers na Anas ne lawyers no Kissi Ajabe and asem no ye twamamntwa kopie mu High Court and the sia Charles Bissue no wasanso de asem no akọ Supreme Court. Why na adwin say opese court no omobo sansem nyina egu na isi a Supreme Court no or the special ruling bia ba almost just say Supreme Court overturn ruling no odofo when ensem deja Ghana has obi aka ho asem obi bisa say intino Charles Bissue any Anas Aremeyaw Anas mu case intino etu entwa Ghana has ana when ensem ekoso Charles Bissue no oso onye hwi Anas say we disika or the videos na adi nyina ba bonten de chese de begu ne hu fin na chese nsem nyina kopie mu wo court High Court si akokopie mu Supreme Court the serious ruling bia ba na meso beji ne nyina bre wo Ghanatube for na obenya political news open political news entertainment bia trending stories ekoso wo Ghana ha nyina Ghanatube na obenya ne nyina odofo na me Charles Bissue ne nsem nyina besi wo Ghanatube makra mu nyina me da mu nyina ase.